Shab kunjani sanibonani bafethu. Welcome to another episode of the East Rand Podcast Files, coming to you all the way from Guatemala. My name is Double M, and we thank you so much for tuning in on our podcast files. And today on the show we have a trailblazer who is an A&R manager by the name of Thatohatsi Radinne, affectionately known as Tay. Miss Tay, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking
so much
time
for
to
having
join
me.
us today.
Thank you. It's
How
an
are you
honor.
feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm
You feel-
feeling great. I'm
Yeah.
always well. I always say that I'm always well. It's a
Yes.
mantra.
Okay.
It's something that I just say to myself because, sometimes it's not always well, but
Absolutely.
if you tell yourself that it's always well, eventually you can see that it is always well.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I like
but I'm
that.
good. I'm
I
great.
Like that.
Thank
yes,
you.
I like that. Now, who is Thatohatsi and where are you from?
Thatohatsi is I just want to put myself aside from what I do first.
Okay, sure.
Thatohatsi is a very kind, loving person, music lover most importantly. That's what I live for. That's what I breathe, live for.
Yes.
I'm an A&R manager, as you've already said.
Yes.
I'm a playlist curator.
Yes.
And I like to think of myself as a content creator as well. With two personas, Tay
Okay.
and Dopey.
And Dopey.
Yes,
I
Tay
read
and
that
Dopey.
on your profile. Yes.
And,
who is who there? Who is Tay and who is Dopey?
Tay is the more musical side of me,
Yes.
the A&R, that's me, the playlist curator. And then Dopey is a name that I got from my aunt as a
Okay.
very young child.
Okay.
And it just stuck with me,
Yes.
it just stuck with me. Because the way they describe Dopey, he was supposed to be, apparently he's a very relaxed, chilled,
Okay.
cannabis lover
Okay.
and all of that. And that kind of really does describe me.
Okay.
Although I'm more crazy and loud, but I really
So you
like
have
that
two
name.
personas
Yeah, so
within
it's
you.
two personas. There's
So, which
Tay.
one is the strongest?
The
Are
strongest
you
one
more
is
crazy
Tay.
or are you more quiet?
It's Tay, definitely
Tay.
Tay. There's no way, there's no
Yes.
noise, Makonu Tay.
Yeah.
That's me, yeah.
Now,
And
yeah.
oh, sorry. And where I'm from the East Rand, Atema, Spio. That's where I've been born and raised. Did leave for a couple of years, yes,
Okay.
but you know what they say, there's no place like home. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so this is where I'm from.
So
This
when
is my
you
home.
when you left, was it schooling or was schooling this side? What happened?
When I left, it was for schooling. So I was in Pretoria for a couple of years. And then that obviously didn't work out because I just
Okay,
realized.
was it now tertiary schooling, not your
It was
lower
tertiary
grades?
schooling, yes,
Oh,
it was
okay,
tertiary
all right,
schooling.
okay.
So I just realized that, music is my passion and what I was doing had no relation to music.
What were you
and
doing in Pretoria?
I was actually studying marketing, yes, and for me it just didn't seem like there was any relation with it in music.
Okay.
And I wanted to see myself in the music scene, so I decided, let me just, put an end to that kancane
Yeah, yeah.
and then just focus on my dreams,
Yes.
what I want to do, which
Yes.
is music. And that's the
Okay.
only way I feel I'm the happiest when I'm
yes, when you
when I'm
follow
busy
your
with
true
music.
passion.
Yes.
Now, which brings me to my next question. What you do is very unique. It's my first time I get to interview an A&R person, especially a young black woman like you. I've met some people who are A&Rs before, but madoda,
Yeah.
ukuningi babo. And here you are, from the East End, as young as you are, and you are an A&R. What brought you into this field? What attracted you to this field?
It was my love for music. It was my love for music. I don't know how to sing. I don't know how to rap. I don't know how to produce. I don't know how to do anything that is music related. So I thought to myself, how do I how do I insert
Exactly.
myself there? And a friend of mine was like A&R, didn't know what that was, and he was just like, no, don't worry about it. You learn as time goes by. We'll walk you through it, and only to find out that I'm actually really gonna fall in love with it. I have a very good ear for music, very good ear for music, which also just makes A&Ring something that's really easy for me to do, and it makes me love it even more because as an A&R, you need to have a good ear for music.
Okay, just balance me on something. You mentioned something very important here because
Yes.
most people ababukele maybe would think that an A&R would need to sing or
No,
rap as
no,
well,
no,
but
no,
you
no, no.
mentioned that you don't need to sing,
No.
you don't need to rap.
No.
What do you need to do actually?
You just need to have
A
a
good
good
ear.
ear for
Okay.
music because one thing that comes with being an A&R is before artists release music, when they are in studio, you need to be there. So before they release a song, they'll send it through to you and they'll ask you to have a listen to it.
Okay.
And then you will tell them, okay, this is great, but it's missing that, it's missing this. I think if you do this, this is going to work better. Or no, trash it. It's a bad song. Don't even.
How do you get
release
involved in that process?
How I got involved in the process is, like I said, a friend of mine introduced me to the whole A&R platform. My friend is a musician, Curator. He's a musician, and he started off by just sending me his music. Kancane, kancane. Please listen to this, please listen to that, please listen to this. And then
now listening to the music, would you have something to say about the lyrics, or would you listen to a song and just give a general comment, or you critique the lyrics?
It depends on what type of song it is.
Okay.
So if it's a hype song, hype music, lyrics don't really matter.
Because it's a repetition.
Yes, it's a repetition. So it would be your flow that matters. It would be the sound, it would be the mastering, the engineering, the beat, and everything. So I would be critiquing based on that. That your flow is good, or nah, workflow, you need to change that. Your mastering is not too great. I can't really hear your words
properly.
properly.
To the production side as
yes, I listen in depth so I can give a detailed critique or detailed response, feedback, so that when your listeners are listening to it as well, they're not listening to something that's like, oh, this is so bad, why didn't anyone tell him that?
Now, what happens if maybe I walk and I have to go to studio and release a song? Say maybe I'm one of the artists working with you, and you're not around, and I have to release a song. Can I release a song and can you critique afterwards? Maybe when I'm from the studio?
No. Then I'm doing a bad job as an A&R, because why am I letting you release a bad song?
So you have to go.
So I don't necessarily have to be there. If I can't be there, what you guys can do is record, send me an unmastered version of it, and then I listen, you master it. That's because I have to tell you, yes, carry on mastering it, or no, don't even bother with it. Then you master it, you fix it up, I hear the final product, and if the final product works, we run with it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm
sure there are many A&Rs out there. Because there are many people in Makassar good ear for music,
yes,
who know how to critique music,
yes,
who know how to advise musicians. But it's a pity
they're not aware. That's very true. That's very true, because I was also that person. I was really not aware that I'm being an A&R, and I'm a social media person, so I tweet a lot, and I tweeted that just listen to someone's song and it sounds so great in ini, and someone actually said that's actually part of A&R. You should actually pay for that.
They critique, they do all sorts.
Yes, so not too many people know that they A&R based off the fact that I'm just listening for a friend. I'm listening for a friend. But that also is part of being an A&R, listening to music for someone before they do release it.
Now, as an A&R manager, do you work with any artist from any type of genre, or do you work with certain specific artists? Are you choosy, or are you work with everyone?
It's any type of music. I have a broad like my music genres that I listen to. It's very broad. I listen to anything from alternative, piano, hip hop, rap, trap, R&B. I listen to them just to train my ear to be able to hear a good song. So if it's an Afrikaner song, very weird, but I just, I jump into it and I listen to it, and I actually do have a favorite, but you just need to be able to listen to everything, unless you obviously want to specialize in that certain type of music genre. But I don't like to box myself, because I don't think music has a box. Music is a universal language. That's why you find people from France who can listen to a song by The Soil, and The Soil.
Yes, and they write articles.
Yes, and they will write articles based on it. It doesn't have to be anything specific, because once you box yourself, that's when you box your abilities.
Yellow, it's all yellow. Rose petals on my table. I can't be no bambino, no hero, no hero, no hero. They been taking me lightly these days. These raps don't even hype me these days. I know they don't even do like me these days. I hate how hatred just comes from this place. Yeah, but with grace to slid the light of mine is out to shine for years and years. I swear they dig you, then they leave you undermined. But time and time and time and time and time again, you let it shine. Yeah, casinos, gambinos, Pacino, tuxedos. I sugama, I amen, I amen, I amen, I amen, I sugama. Ayabo, 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 ayabo.
What is the one thing that would attract you in an artist, that would make you want to work with an artist immediately?
Immediately. If I listen to your song and in the first 10 seconds, I'm gone. That's it.
The first 10
The
seconds?
first 10 seconds. I literally believe that the first 10 seconds of a song
Yes.
really does a lot. It will determine whether you want to carry on listening or
Like,
not.
not even 20 seconds, 10
No.
seconds.
I need the first 10 seconds.
Okay.
So, an example that I can use right now, I have my artist that I'm managing right now, Jamila.
Yes.
Jamila makes alternative music.
Okay.
And there's a song by him, Amapupom Zugulu.
Okay.
The first 10 seconds of that song, you're
Yes.
gone. You're taken.
Okay.
It's literally just the beat. It
Oh,
goes,
okay.
it goes, it goes, and the beat will take you, and you'll find yourself jamming to it. I can hear it in my head right now.
Oh, yes,
You'll find yourself jamming to it, and that will make you want to listen to it. And when you carry on listening to it, you don't lose interest. It's still
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
holding you
I get
in.
what you say, yes.
So that's a very important thing for me. Like, it's very important.
So if I impress you 10 seconds, I have to chance go.
I will give it a chance, right? Because it's music, but I don't think I'd really want to like work with you going forth, because you must understand, musicians are creatives.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
creatives are very sensitive with their work.
Absolutely.
So if you are a musician that's really stoned on keeping your sound, there's nothing I can do or say to change your sound. And if I'm not, vibing with your sound, we
Yes.
can't really work together,
Absolutely,
because
yeah.
music is something that goes within. It's a
Yes.
spiritual thing. It's
Yes.
just,
Yes.
it's
like they
it's-
say, when it hits you, you don't feel no pain.
Yes, when it hits
But it
you,
shapara.
yakshaya.
Yes.
So I really need to be able to enjoy your music
Absolutely,
if I'm
what you're
working
saying.
with you, because
Yeah.
it'd be very hypocritical of me to be telling people to listen to your music and I don't.
Yeah.
So I need
Absolutely.
to be able to say I'm a fan of you as much as I'm
Before.
your manager.
Yes. Now
Yes.
tell us about some of the artists that you're working with. I believe you're working
Okay.
with 3 artists.
Yes,
eh?
I am.
Yes.
Right now I'm working with my artist Jamila, Curator, and Brown Panda.
Okay.
Jamila makes alternative music.
Where are they from?
They all from the East.
Oh, they're all from the
They're
East.
all from the
Oh,
East Rand,
that's so
all of them.
cool.
We have so much talent in the East Rand.
Absolutely.
So much talent.
Absolutely.
Jamila makes alternative. Brown Panda is a hip hop artist, and
Okay.
then K Quintero is an all-rounder. He's alternative. He's hip hop. He's doing this. This new sound where you take kwaito and you mix it with hip hop.
Okay.
He's on that
Yes,
as well.
yes,
Afro
yes.
beat. So he's a
Yes.
very versatile artist, and mostly, like I said, I like their music, so I will work with them.
Oh,
I don't tell
yes.
people to listen to people that I don't listen to. I don't.
Now, what are the challenges of being an A&R, especially pertaining to artists? I'm saying pertaining to artists because you work with artists, and there are a lot of artists watching right now. So
Yes.
at least they would need to know what for me to attract, A&Rs like Tay. That's why I'm asking, what are the challenges of being an A&R pertaining to artists?
The challenges I would say is, like I said, artists are creatives.
Creatives.
Yes. So sometimes it's not always in their, they're not always in the mood to be making music.
Sometimes maybe they're having a writer's block.
You see, that's one of the things. Like, they're not always in the mood. And as an A&R manager, you know the importance of keeping your artist relevant. And how do you keep your artist relevant? Through their music. So if you are going through your writer's block, or you're going through that phase that's just really blocking you to make music, you're also blocking me from doing my job, you know. So which also comes again, one of the things of my job is to keep sure that my artists are in the right frame of mind. I need to make sure that they are okay, they are good, in order to keep making music. Hence, I call myself their babysitter.
I saw on your profile.
I call myself their babysitter because I need to
You
make
have
sure
to
that
babysit
yes,
them, like-
they are always fine. Because if you're not fine, your music is not fine,
Oh,
and your
yes.
listeners can really, they can really hear that. They can really
Yes,
catch on to
yes.
that. Another thing that I would say is obviously working with Abantu is never easy.
Yeah,
It's really
it's
never
challenging
easy.
on its own.
You know, it's never easy. Especially if you're working with umuntu ozaziyo. Because sometimes you work with someone that knows that they're really good. And then they tend to be a bit difficult. So now you have to be grounded enough, and you have to be, you have to be strict enough to say, no, now you're really messing up, and I don't really like that. So you need to get on your feet and do it. Ukhulume naye ngathi ukhuluma nomntwana, you know,
Like,
so that they can stay in line,
Yes,
and they can
yes.
just keep doing what it is that they have to do. But besides that, everything else is obviously just trying to make sure that everyone else hears their music, because that's my job as well, distributing their music, making sure that their music is
how
out there.
important is music in your life? Just music generally. Besides
really
besides
important.
music law or ulalela mawusebenza nama artists la
Yes.
usebenza now. The music that you listen to when you wake up or when you're feeling down, which tunes do you put in? How important? What does it mean to your world? Tell us that.
Everything,
Because
literally
I can
everything.
see Uti, everything with you is surrounded by music.
Music. I don't know what word to use that's greater than love, but I really love music. I have a soundtrack to everything in my life. There's always a song playing to everything in my life. So
Oh, that's me too. I do
yes,
that as
there's
well.
a soundtrack.
I
There's a
do that
soundtrack
as-
to
I get what you say.
everything. Yes.
I do that as well.
Mangeza, there needs to
That
be music.
yes.
Man cleaner, there needs to be music. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. Even when I'm sitting, sometimes I think to myself, it's too quiet.
Yes.
I need to play
yes,
something.
Yes.
Even if I'm not listening to it, but there needs to be something that's playing. Because
Yes.
subconsciously, I am
that's
listening.
me too.
I am
Yes.
listening. Music it's really important to me. I do think it's going to be what makes me great as a human being.
Yeah.
Music. And I realized that, luckily for myself, at a very young age. So music is going to be what makes me great.
Yes.
I'm telling you this today.
Yes. Now,
That's something you
now
must
just
know.
to put you on the spot, I know Guti, you work with all types of genres.
Yes.
But which is your favorite?
That's like asking a mother to pick their favorite child. Yo,
That's why I said I'm putting you
my
on the
favorite genre.
spot. Yes.
Right now, I think I'd say it's alternative. Because alternative can go with lyrics or without lyrics.
Okay.
So it's you listening to just beats.
Okay.
And then sometimes it's you listening to beats with words.
Okay.
So alternative is something that you can work with really a lot.
Okay.
Others, I do love everything else, yes, but like I said, with R&B, you can't take away the voice and expect to feel the song the
Oh,
same
yes,
way.
absolutely.
You know, the alternative, you can still take away the
But
voice
there
and it'll
still would be
still hit
something.
you the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think alternative,
Wow.
without taking away anything from anyone
Well,
else.
I like
but
the way
alternative.
how you explained it, especially with the sound that go alternative. You can
Yes.
take a certain sound, but the song would still be there.
It will still
and then
be
on
there.
other sounds, we know that if you take this certain sound,
Angeke usayiva the
Something
same
is
way.
wrong,
Yes,
something
angeke usayiva
is
the same way.
missing.
Imagine trying to listen to Ingoma Gatamiya is still
yeah,
without the lyrics. You're still going to be singing the lyrics in your head.
exactly.
Like
Because
Kusazo
you
Atu,
feel that
yeah.
something is missing, man.
The alternative, you'll be listening to the beats and you'll just be here, jamming to the
Are
beats.
you since you I love music as well, and I'm gonna ask you this question now. Since you are also into music, are you a spiritual person or are you a religious person? Like when I say spiritual and religious, I know it may sound the same, but to me, like a religious person, do you go to church every now and then? Or when I say spiritual, or are you one of those people who don't go to church? Maybe you meditate or you do other sorts of things just to to be in that space.
I really
with
love
you?
that question. I really do love that question. I would think of myself as a spiritual person. I think religion boxes you and it just puts you in a box, and I don't really like to think of myself like
I
that.
think I get what you're
Yes,
saying. Okay.
I am a spiritual person, so when I do listen to music, it would obviously also just depend on my spirit at that time. So there are different types of music for different feelings. Like I say, I believe in mantras. There's a
Oh,
mantra.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
there's something that you need to be saying to yourself. And music also is a mantra. Music is always a mantra. If you listen to the likes of Janae Igo, Iris Temple, or Ram Gold, those people, their music literally, it speaks to you. Janae Igo especially, that's a really big example that I can use because everyone knows Janae Igo and everyone knows Janae Igo's music. If you listen to Janae Igo, Frequency, that song will, if you listen to that song, you will feel it. It's a prayer. It's a prayer, but it's not a religious prayer, so it's not really
Oh,
boxed
yes,
to a certain
yes,
religion.
yes.
So anyone can listen to that song and they will feel connected to their higher power, whatever that may be.
yes.
So I do think of myself as spiritual because I work with music. Because if I think of myself as religious, then I'm going to be drawn to.
That's why I had to pose this
Yes,
question.
I'm going to be drawn to one type of musical genre, which is probably going to be gospel,
Yes.
or
And
I
you'd
probably wouldn't.
reject
Yeah,
as in easy
I'd
go.
reject hip hop because hip hop is more.
Explicit.
It's explicit, and that's not religiously okay. But yeah, spiritually, definitely,
I like
definitely
it.
spiritually.
I believe you also curate playlists for Apple Music.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do you do there?
A playlist curator is someone that puts together playlists and then they just put them out there for the public to listen to.
Oh,
Yes,
all right, okay.
that's what I do.
Another thing. Maning if I'm a curator out there, but I'm not sure if some of them were aware with they are music curators.
They're not
Because
aware of
Maning
it,
I have
yes.
friends who would compile, mixes, and they would just give to the public.
Yes.
I'm a curator.
I think you only think of yourself as a curator if you're trying to like make something big of it, and if you're trying to just make money off of it, because as a playlist curator, in the long run, if you get enough listeners on Apple, you actually do start earning royalties for that. They'll start opening, because I see sometimes also when I open my Apple Music app, there's a radio station under my name there.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Which means
How did you enable music? How were you able to curate playlists for Apple Music?
it's very simple actually.
Is
You
it?
just you go on the app and then there's a part where you say playlist.
Okay, you go on the app and you go to the
playlist,
app,
and then
yes.
you will just add your music accordingly. But also remember, putting a playlist is not just putting songs on together. It's songs that actually flow and there's like a vibe into it, and then after that you will say make it available to the public, and then the public will have it. Now you only a curator if you start making a habit of it.
Oh.
So, like me, I have playlists on Apple, and for the people that do listen to my playlist, they will see that there's always a pattern with my playlist. So the first batch of playlists that I put up together, there was a pattern. They were all spelling the word music.
Okay.
So the first one was M, the second one was U, the third one was S, and then when you listen to all of them and you're done, you'll figure it out. It's music. Now I have another one that I've started just now, and they'll see it at the end. Oh, this is what this was spelling out.
Wow.
But I do think of making playlists as it's an art, and it's a form of bringing people together and sometimes healing people, because sometimes people feel a certain way and they need music, but they don't sure what type of music to actually
but
listen
they
to.
need music.
Yes, and my playlists give that to you, because before you listen to the playlist, there's also a description.
Yes,
This
I
playlist
like
is for this,
that,
for
I
that,
like
and
that,
then you
yes.
know already, okay, I'm feeling very down today, and this playlist is what's gonna keep me going. Or road trip, I have a playlist for that as well. There's a playlist for literally
If it's a Friday,
everything.
I'm
If it's
feeling
a
vibey.
Friday and you're feeling vibey, there's a playlist for that as well. So, yeah, that's me and my playlist.
Wow, it makes sense to me. At least now I know. I didn't know, now I know. And I also believe you are a content creator as well.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Content creation. I have a channel that I'm working on right now. It's under construction.
Okay.
That's what is called Tia and Dopey's Music Corner. So on my channel, I don't have any videos up right now, but
Okay.
certainly very soon I'll be putting something up on there. So basically, it's just everything music related.
Oh, it's
anything
music
Yes,
related.
anything music related you can think of. I do artist discoveries.
Okay.
I do questionnaires, like people have questions about certain things that attain to music that they're not really
Yes.
sure of, and I'm there.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
answer that. I
Yes.
have jam sessions where I put people onto new music,
Oh.
that music they don't know, because there's lots
What
of
happens
music.
on that one? Do you collect music abantu abangakawuzwa, and then
Yes.
you
Yes,
share
so
with them?
I basically share it, I jam with it, I play a young clip of the song,
Okay.
and then after that, that's when my curating comes into play.
Okay.
At the end of that, I'll tell them that I have a playlist that was put together that has all the music that I've been playing or listening to on this episode, and you can go find it there. And that's me also just putting people onto new music, new artists,
it makes
and
sense,
also
yeah.
just putting other artists' music out there as well. And another thing that I'm doing right now is I also have a podcast.
Say what?
We have a podcast.
Okay, tell us more about that.
Me and my two dear friends.
Okay.
One of which is also my artist, Jomela
Okay.
and Dintle.
Okay.
And we have a podcast called Have a Drink with Jomela. So basically what we do is we just tackle everyday issues, but we tackle them in depth because
Okay.
there are issues that we talk about them, yes, but people usually shy away from discussing
Absolutely.
them like really, really, really in depth.
Yes.
And we do it in a fun way also because we're giving you opinions from young people,
Okay, yes.
from young people.
Yes.
So because that's our target market.
Yes.
And we're also just trying to, if we have, hopefully, that's what I'm trying to also get, if we have listeners of like an older age,
Yes,
they
yes.
can also just get a perspective from
yes,
younger
yes.
people
Just
and
to strike the balance
Yes, just to
between-
strike the balance so they can just, Nati as people, we also have comments there and we just discuss
like
with
that.
our watchers, with our listeners, and we all interact. But yes, that's what
Wow.
I'm doing right now, content creation wise.
Wow, you are busy.
Trying.
You are busy.
Trying.
Wow.
Trying.
What's the one thing you are proud of about yourself up until now? I know you still have ambitions to achieve, etc. But what's the one thing up to this point that you would say, you know what?
I'm proud of that.
Yes.
I think right now the one thing that I can say I'm really proud of is the fact that I really stopped doubting myself. I really did stop doubting myself. I think doubt has also really made me not put a stop, but just focus more on other things that I'm not really so passionate about, all mainly because I'm thinking this is what's gonna work out for me. And this, black people, how we're raised, you need to do teaching, you need to do nursing, you need to do that, then you're going to be successful.
Yes,
because if you don't do this, you're not going to be successful.
But whereas you are
Whereas you're not happy there, like you're in class,
and
you're
that's
sitting,
the case with most of us. Trust
like
me.
you're in class, you're sitting, so you can go do what it
Even
is that
now,
you
9 to
actually
5,
want to
alarm
do.
my car, when
Yeah,
you
well.
have to go to your 9 to 5, you're like, damn.
Good thing, you know.
Exactly.
So I'm just proud of the fact that I've really stopped doubting myself and I've really let myself follow my dreams. I was really scared of following my A&R dreams and
Yes.
thinking, it's gonna take so long for me to be like working with these huge musicians that actually need me on call
to babysit.
to babysit them and all of that. But I just realized, I was like, if you don't start now, you're really just derailing your dream even more. So if you don't start now, if you were supposed to make it in 5 years, now you're going to make it in 10
Oh my word, yes.
because you're
So the time
derailing
is-
yourself.
The time is now.
The time is now, and if you don't do it now, you're just putting a stop to your dreams. You're making them go slower, and sometimes you even kill them because you find yourself doing whatever it is that you're doing, and you find yourself 10 years later, you have kids, you're married. Now you can't jump into whatever you want to jump into
And now you
because you have
start
people to
regretting.
support now.
You
have
start
to
regretting
you just
now.
start regretting. So that's
And
one of
leyo
my
nto leyo
biggest
iletha-
things.
ilethelana nokugula.
yabo, unhappiness,
Yes.
and all of that. So that's just one of the biggest things for me right now is that I stopped doubting myself and I actually
Definitely
followed
a
my
trailblazer.
dreams.
You know, when I asked you this question, I thought you were going to mention something tangible, something big, but you're mentioning something which is priceless,
It's very priceless,
which is priceless and
because
powerful.
yes, if you know your worth and if you know what you're capable of,
Yes.
all the tangible things follow. Everything else follows. I want that Lambo truck
Exactly.
and all of that, but
Exactly.
it will follow because I followed my dreams, and it will be
Yes.
so much more enjoyable.
Making sense to me. I don't know about someone who's watching, but I'm sure it's making sense to them. What's the one advice you would give to an upcoming artist who's watching right now? Be it anything.
Um, my one advice would be, don't change your sound for anyone. Don't do that, because I've realized a lot that artists they start up with a certain sound,
Oh yes, and
and then they see that
Oh
no one's
yes.
listening, and then they just change,
Mm,
and
yeah.
now it becomes one of the thing Yoguti. It's now something that you have to do. Now it's like
But
a monkey
what if they're
trick.
trying to follow trends and social media, dictating to them that this is the new sound? Do they need to? Can't they follow that, or do they need to stick to their own true
I mean,
values?
you can do that, but you must just know that from there onwards, that's what everyone's gonna expect from you. That's what everyone's gonna expect from you. So if you are actually really passionate about, like rap,
Yes.
like straight up rap,
Yes.
and you see that the trend right now is trap, and you start trapping and you pop, that's what everyone's gonna expect from you. Trap.
Oh, yes.
Why?
Whereas
And
when
then
you-
once you go back to that rap
like, "Ah."
sound, they're gonna be like, that's not you. We didn't fall in love with this. Now you're trying too hard.
Especially good rap.
Yeah,
Good rap,
and like
yeah.
then when this is what you actually like, but because you were trying to like blow up like a 5-second popcorn whatever, now that's what people are gonna expect from you. Don't follow your creative juices. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you do.
Ah.
That's how you attract supporters that will be with you in the long run, like forever and ever. And another piece of another piece of advice
Yes.
that I can give them is, you shouldn't give up.
No,
You
yes.
really shouldn't give up.
Yes.
There's so much talent in the
And
world.
trust me, Tay, there's a lot of them ababukele manje who have gave up.
Yeah.
But the thing about giving up is you may give up, but the burning desire is still
Ingaphakathi.
there.
It's still there. It's
Still
not
there.
gonna go anywhere.
Even when you keep growing up, it's still there.
It's still there. So don't give up. Like, don't ever give up. It doesn't matter how long it takes. There's a time for everything. And like I said, there's so much talent in the world. So people are still discovering other people. Your turn is coming.
Absolutely.
Your turn is coming. They will discover you. And you never know. Maybe you don't have listeners in South Africa here, but there's
You
someone
may
playing your
have-
song in
yes,
America,
yes.
like they're streaming it somewhere in
absolutely.
America. You
Yeah.
know, there's someone talking about
Yes.
you in the UK. But
Absolutely.
did you hear this song?
Yes.
S01.
Spot on.
So
Yeah.
always stick to what you love, and
Yeah.
don't ever give up. And always make sure that the people you have around you, your team, make sure that your team is your team for real.
Besides music, what are your other hobbies? How do you unwind?
Besides music, I could say reading. I read a lot. Reading is it's a big part of my life and keeping sane, because once you open up a book, you're no longer here.
Oh yeah.
I'll say kola. You're wherever the book is telling you. But I really like reading insightful books.
Okay.
Spiritual books. I really like them.
Michelle,
My favorite, my all-time favorite book is A Soul's Journey by Peter Richelu.
A Soul's Journey.
Yes, A Soul's Journey.
Can
by
you
Peter
briefly
Richelu.
tell us ukuthi Skipanda?
It's basically it's just a book about like the afterlife,
Okay.
and what happens while you're asleep,
Okay.
and just also life, like actual life, like
Yes.
real life. So it just gives you a better understanding that there's celestial beings,
Yes.
and there's us,
Yes.
the people, the beings. But in the book they call them astral beings,
Okay, yes.
the beings that are
Yes.
out
yes, I
there
get
and
you.
up there. And it also just gives you an insight also about your dreams, what it is basically that's going on when you're dreaming.
Oh, yes.
And it's not just you sleeping and making up scenarios in your head.
You seem like an old soul.
I like to think of myself as an old soul. I do like to think of myself as an old soul, but I think it also comes from the fact that I'm really not afraid to learn, you know. I'm not afraid to put myself out there.
Yeah.
I like learning, whatever it is. I've really tried out a lot of things that are just really out of
Yes.
A&Ring, and you just think, so how did you
Yeah.
get to A&R if you did all of that?
Like that.
You know?
Yeah.
If it's not reading, then I really like surrounding myself with people that love me and people that I love, because that's how you gain your strength, you know. That's how you build your character. You just be around the people that love you and people that you love, and everything else just falls into place. Also, another thing that I like doing is it's meditating and praying. If you meditate and you pray, I think, okay, wait, it comes back to, if you don't believe in something, then you just fall for anything. So if you have something that you believe in, and if you have a higher power that you pray in, it grounds you. It really does ground you, and it helps you stay the person that you are, because, you know, as people, we go through a lot.
Absolutely.
We go through a lot, and that ends up changing you, and you start becoming something that you're not.
And
you
even
know?
your perception towards the
Yes,
world and
it just
towards other people,
changes.
it changes.
And you're just negative and all of that. So if you have something that you can always go back to and just
That's so.
hide there and just, you know, think about everything and meditate and ground yourself and bring yourself back to one point, it's really easy for you to just stay the lovely soul that you really are. Yes, you grow obviously, but you will stay the same person. I don't know if I'm making sense.
To me,
you
you're making
grow, but
perfect sense.
you stay the same
Yes,
person.
to me, you're making
That's
perfect
very
sense.
important, because people really lose themselves a lot in this
absolutely.
world.
That's
But
why. That's why I even jokingly said you seem like an old soul, because personally I believe that we am told umntana omncane, but they may strike you like an old soul, and we am told umuntu omdala, but strike you not umntana omncane. No pun intended.
For real.
You
For
know what I
real.
mean?
I don't want to get into too much detail about that.
Yeah,
I know
but
why
I
that happens,
get
but
what
yeah.
I get what you say nonetheless. So basically that's what you often do. You say.
Yes, that's what I often do. I try to relax a lot,
Now
because
let's get back to meditating. How do you meditate?
how
I'm asking
meditate.
because this question has been asked a lot of times. People
Okay.
always ask, how do you meditate? Because mawungathi uyathula nje, isound yakamakhelwane uyayizwa, inja iyakhonkotha ngale over the side of the road, ingqondo yakhe yaqala iyawandara.
Yeah, that's true. So
How do you ground yourself?
So nje.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and your
but
thoughts start creeping in. So uyacabanga weekend.
supposed to go through this, yeah.
You know?
Meditation for me is, I read, so it will, whether it be a scripture from the Bible or a scripture from a book, or like I said, I read a lot of spiritual books.
Yes.
Or it's a book or something, and you just read that one thing and then you focus on it and you meditate on it. And like, meditation for me basically is me running all my thoughts about whatever it is that I'm meditating
At
on.
least you're controlling your thoughts.
Yeah, bo.
Yes.
I run my thoughts. I make sure my thoughts revolve around that little thing that it is. So, if for instance I'm going to be meditating on the fact that butterflies become caterpillars, that's what you think of. How do they become caterpillars? Why do they become
I
caterpillars?
can already see that imagination.
You know,
Yes.
why do they become caterpillars?
Yes.
You need to find a very comfortable position also, so it's not always sitting like this like you see it on TV. So if it's just lying down, just make sure you don't fall asleep. It's just, you meditate, you think on one thing, and that's that. Sometimes I use my meditation time as manifestation time. So if what I'm thinking of right now is, I don't know, I'm gonna get a Jeep next year or something like that. That's me. My meditation is there. I'm manifesting that.
Oh yes. And that's very powerful.
I center myself in that.
That's
Yes.
very powerful, because we used to do that when we were young, you know. But the more we grow up, we we tend to stop doing that. And I think that's very powerful. The power of
Yes.
manifestation.
It's because the older you grow, you think things are out of your reach. So ma umntwana, you see a car and you're like, "Imoto yami leya."
Yes.
Eyami leya, imoto leya. And then the older you grow, you see, oh, I have to work, I have to do this, money is a factor,
And
money
you
is
become
a... And then you
stubborn
start pulling yourself away from that. Whereas if you just stick to that thought, imoto yami leya, it's going to be your car. Imoto yakho vele. It's yours. You just need to claim it and you just need to receive it. I know these words, I always say it and people always think, but it's true. It's really true. You need to claim and receive whatever it is because the universe gives you what you think you deserve. So if you don't think
Can
you
you say that
deserve
again?
something, the universe gives you something that you think you deserve.
Yes.
So if you don't think you deserve it, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it.
That's why sometimes they would say to you, if your dreams are not big enough, or if our tools,
Yeah.
then you need to start dreaming.
You need
big.
to really start dreaming big because the world is it's infinite. There's a lot that can happen in the world, like a lot. And I think also mostly it's because people just take their age and they attach them to their dreams. They just attach them to the dreams.
Oh
and
yes, good sing now. Sing,
yeah,
sing,
and
sing.
you shouldn't do that because when you do that, that's when you start taking away what you deserve from yourself. And then you're not going to get it because you don't deserve it according to you.
Wow, that's very powerful right there. Wow. Now, what advice would you give to someone who's watching who would aspire to be an A&R one day?
The advice. Phew. Okay, I think it would have to be listen to yourself. Really, listen to yourself.
Not your friends,
Not your
not
friends.
your parents.
Not your parents. No, especially not your parents. Don't listen to your parents. Your parents, they think it's very useless to be an A&R manager. They don't see the vision. So just listen to yourself. Listen to yourself and make sure that you're an open-minded person. Because if you're doing A&R, it obviously means you're in the music industry. And if you're not an open-minded person, then you don't know. Maybe you like piano, but your big break is gonna come from an R&B artist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
When you're listening to piano, but like your big break is not there. It's R&B artist. So be open to anything and everything music-wise.
But primarily, listen to
Yes,
yourself.
listen to yourself. Teach yourself to be teachable also. Ufunde. You know, ungati, oh no, I know this, I don't know this, oh no, that's whack or whatever. There's no such thing. Open yourself up, listen to yourself, and listen to all types of music. Anything.
Yeah, you're a trailblazer for sure. You know.
Thank
now,
you.
now, I'm gonna put you on the spot now. I want you to give. In fact, you're not giving me, but you're giving the rest of the world out there 5 reasons why would they need to come and visit the East Rand.
5 reasons to visit the East Rand.
Yeah, boy.
I think the East Rand has really amazing people. That's one thing that people always talk about when they come to the East Rand. Uguti, you're from the East Rand, no wonder. Like the East Rand has really, really amazing people. You know. 2, the East Rand has so much talent. There's so much talent in the East Rand. If you think about it, a lot of the people in the music industry, or a lot of people in the industry in general, are all from the East Rand. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
Absolutely,
They're from the East Rand. We have Questa, we have Reason,
Yes.
we have Namuzli,
Yes, we have Jonina.
You have Jonina. We
Yes.
have so
Bongo
many
Riot,
people,
yes.
so many people that are from the East Rand that have so much talent, and it's not only boxed into just music. There's talent like all around.
Yes.
There's chefs, there's musicians, there's club owners, there's painters, there's writers, fashion designers, anything is like you can really access it here in the East Rand. It's just that we're such a small town that obviously people don't really think of us that way. 3 would be, we are the groove capital of the world. Obviously. The groove capital of the world.
Oh, yeah,
obviously.
they know.
So that would be something that would really bring you to the East Rand. And I think the East Rand also has really great food.
Oh yes. Yeah.
There's really great food in the East Rand. Like greater than your restaurants that people go to.
Yes,
First
yes.
option.
Yes.
The East Rand has really great food. And another thing is East Rand has like that culture. the East Rand has that culture that even if ukhuluma nomuntu
Oh yeah, you can
angakutshela,
tell, absolutely.
you can tell just by
Yeah,
speaking to that person
yeah.
ukuthi you're from the East
Yeah,
Rand.
you consider because
Yes.
quite often nowadays when I watch TV, when I see someone from the east, before I would even know which they from this side, I would hear go accent
Yeah, the lingo.
I
the
can
accent.
tell with Dalo Mkasan, and definitely, I would realize later on that I was right. We have
Yabo.
this exclusive culture.
There's this culture that the East Rand people just possess, and anywhere you go, someone will tell you, Guti, you're from the East Rand and you're a vibe.
Can you share with us your social media handles? I see on your profile you even mentioning that people should stalk you.
Yes.
They mustn't be
Stalk.
creepy though, but stalk you in
Don't
the
be
right way.
creepy, but stalk.
Yes.
On Twitter, I am at Tay Radinne, so it's TAY.
TAY.
Or guys, I forgot to spell my surname. TAYRADINNE. On Instagram, I'm at Tay Radinne, same spelling. On Twitter, on Facebook, I am Tato Hatsi Tay Radinne.
Okay.
On Apple Music, Tay Radinne. And you can follow Have a Drink on YouTube.
Yes.
It's Have a Drink with Jamila. And you can also subscribe to Tay and Dopey's Music Corner.
Yo,
That's
you're
me.
so busy, hey.
That's
But you
me.
know what? You are a trailblazer, and we are so proud of you. And you know what? Keep shining,
Thank you
Dombo.
so
Ngaphi
much.
nasemu.
Thank you so much.
We love you, and we are behind you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Another dope episode with another dope trailblazer. As you can see, a young female from the East. She's an A&R artist. In fact, she's an artist at heart. She talked about everything that she does within her space and how passionate she's all about artistry and music. And from myself, Double M, and the rest of the team, we'll see you guys again on the next episode of the East Rand Podcast Files. And keep watching our podcast files. And we thank you so much for liking and watching our podcast files. It's a goodbye from me and the rest of the team. Cheers.